Hey guys, so if you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, it's because my hair has been on strike for the past few days and refuses to do anything I want it to, so I've been wearing this hat. Um, so today I'm going to talk about a topic that was actually requested of me to talk about, um, and it's basically why one would want to medically transition, be it hormone surgery, whatever. Um, and I guess I'll speak personally. I think for me at first, years and years ago, um, I I thought like, okay, I'm perceived as male all the time, and I dress the way I want to, and I look the way I want to. But I mean, when I was 12, 13, yeah, I did look the way I wanted to, and yes, I did dress the way I wanted to, and everything like that, and I was perceived as male. But you know, as I've started getting older, I was in denial for a few years. I'm like, I'm never gonna go on testosterone. I'm never gonna have surgery, anything like that, because I'm really squeamish and I hate needles and all that stuff. And it's expensive, and I don't have a lot of money. And I was in denial, and I just kind of realized that I'm not always gonna look like this. My body is still changing, and like I can't handle it anymore. And as I get older and older, my body's going to continue to change and do things that I don't want it to do. And looking in the mirror every day, I wasn't seeing what I wanted to see. And waking up in the morning, I wasn't in the body I wanted to be in. And it just got so bad that I'm like, okay, I really went and like all out looked at surgeons in my area and um, endocrinologists in the area, did so much research on it, and I got to a point where I went, okay, this is my reality. This needs to happen within the next few years, and so that was hard coming to terms with myself with that. But um, as for my parents, uh, letting them know that that was what I wanted when I brought it up at first. My mom was completely against hormones because she read all these horror stories and she was terrified for my health. And then she didn't believe me when I brought up surgery because she knows how squeamish I am, and she knows that would, or she thought, I guess, that would be something that I didn't want, and that I was just kind of throwing it out there, when in reality it is my reality. And they have now come to terms with that. They are aware of the fact that I will be starting testosterone this year, and within the next 2 years, hopefully, um, top surgery will be happening, and they have acknowledged that. And so, as for why specifically, it's just I can't stand to think that I'm still gonna sound like this and I'm still gonna look like this when I'm 19, 20, 21, and then as I start getting older, I'm gonna age. If I didn't do anything with my body, it would age as a woman's body ages, and that scares me, and I don't want that. And so for me, it was thinking about, do I really want to continue on this path, or should I do what I can to make myself happy instead of dreading this my entire life? Um, so like it's bad now. When I was 14, 15, I sounded like a 14, 15-year-old boy, and I still do, but you know, that is starting to wear off because people are going, well, you don't sound like you're 17, and I don't look like I'm 17. I don't have the build or anything of a 17-year-old boy. I just don't. And that thought that I would still look like this and sound like this in 5 years scares me, because I know that I will not be perceived as male if I tell people I'm like 25 years old and I look and sound like this, I'm not going to be perceived as male. So, um, as for getting parents on board or understanding, with my mom, I at first agreed with her. I said, I'm not thinking about testosterone right now. I agree with your decision. I won't go on it before I'm 18 or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But then as I started thinking about it, I got really scared and I thought I can't live like this for another, at the time, 2 years, um, until I'm 18. And so one morning at like 2 in the morning, I was always crying. But at that point, my parents were in bed, so I couldn't just go down and knock on the door and be like, "Hey, let's talk about surgery and testosterone right now." So as I was, having my daily breakdown at 2 in the morning, I pulled out a piece of paper and I just wrote down everything I was thinking. And I didn't know if I was going to give it to her or not, but I did. I left it on her desk the next day, and she read the entire thing. And she came up and she said to me like, um, at this point, whatever makes you happy, I will do. And so just getting that across, because I know that she has seen me have breakdowns and stuff in the past couple of years since I came out, and she's seen things that have stressed me out. So getting that point across with really like writing down all that stuff as I was breaking down really got all my thoughts out on paper that I probably wouldn't have been able to express in person. So, getting that out, whether it's through a letter like I did, or just, sitting down and having a real conversation and not letting, your parents trample all over you. Um, just, they need to know that this is something that's serious. It's not just, oh yeah, I just want to get surgery one day. I'm having surgery one day. It is going to happen, and you need to acknowledge that. And that's pretty much what I did with my parents, and they're completely, they can't help financially, but I know that my mom would if she could. So, and that's enough for me, I guess. But they're on board with it now, and my mom said, I'll sign anything just to see you smile at this point. And so, and they're both coming with me to my endocrinologist appointment in like a month. So, things are happening, and you just, to get it across to your parents, you really just need to be like persistent and get it across, and tell them to do their research and maybe show them some videos of people talking about their feelings after starting testosterone or after having surgery. I think that's what helped my mom too, was talking or like watching videos of people and seeing that they do seem happier. And one thing, I guess I just thought of this now, I gave my mom a book that I got from the library, and it was called Mothers in Transition, and it's basically stories that mothers of trans kids have wrote their experience of watching their children, come out and become themselves. And this is kids, or like mothers from, kids that are like 5, 6 years old to kids that are in their 30s, and all different racial backgrounds and different experiences and things like that. And giving that to my mom really gave her, a sense of like, this is my child, and I really need to help this kid, so I'll look up more of the details and put the name of the book and everything in the description. But yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any topics that you'd like me to discuss, leave them down below. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and subscribe, and thanks for watching. See ya.